I'm here with Eric Persson at the Infineon stand, and here's interesting news about cool GaN. So, Eric, thank you very much that you're taking the time. You said that you came out with a new interesting topology on switched-capacitor topology. So tell me more about that.
So, Ralph, what we're doing is taking a traditional server architecture. So this represents a modern server board. Typically, they operate from 12-volt distributed power system. Distributing hundreds of amps at 12 volt gives you lots of loss. So a preference would be to use a 48-volt distribution. So now I can use a 48-volt front-end power supply, which is using GaN, gives you a 98% efficient conversion down to 48. But now what do I do here? Because I need to get from 48 to 12 in order to operate my board. There are some experimental 48 direct-to-processor power conversion, but it's hard to get the efficiency that we can get with the traditional 12-volt buck, multi-phase buck. So we have what's called a zero voltage switched capacitor converter. So this converter here, it's about maybe 1 inch. This is 500 watts, 98+% efficient switched capacitor filter using this ZVS technique that we've developed. So one small inductor, a couple of small capacitors, and we're now able to interface the 48-volt output of the high-efficiency front-end power supply and not make any major changes in the rest of the system architecture.
So on the front end, you're using your cool GaN 650-volt devices. This is a totem pole topology, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So the totem pole topology with GaN operating continuous conduction mode for PFC, we can get just the PFC stage, we get over 99% efficiency. And when you combine that with a high efficiency LLC on the back end, you get a complete power supply that's operating in the 98% efficiency range.
So the server industry was the first market you're trying to target. Which other markets could benefit of the 650-volt cool GaNs? Which other markets? Yeah,
so the reason that we go first to the hyperscale data centers, not so much commodity server, but it's really about the decision maker has to be the one paying the energy bill. When they are, then they obviously choose the highest efficiency option. So that traditionally has meant telecom and hyperscale data center. But I think now you'll start to see in other applications, even the commodity server, because the air conditioning costs and so on are always a big deal. Also, applications where you can't get access to cooling very easily, like these IP65 covered power supplies where you can't get airflow. You need low loss in order to be able to manage the thermals in a sealed design. So I think that'll be a big one too.
So Eric, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you, Ralph.